Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Not So Late Show, coming at you live on Wednesday, 6 p.m. What's up?
What's up, Josh?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You ready to get the show started?
Do it.
All right, do it. All right, guys. Stay safe, advisory. So that's what's up. But things are getting back to normal. I mean, we're in the middle of week 3 of a lot of businesses relaunching, week 1 of some others. And so, yeah, but wanted to take a little midweek break. Wine of the week is a Alsace Domaine Sein Humblick Pinot Blanc.
German?
Kind of. French. But definitely
Not
Alsace.
really anywhere really close.
No, they're really close.
Are they?
Yeah,
Gosh, it
those
sounded
reasons,
so like.
It does. Sein Humblick.
I mean.
Yeah. So, but super.
I took Spanish.
Alsace is a region that's super close to that area, and honestly, some of the most interesting white wines in the entire world come from that area. Some of my favorite. I love French white wine. So, this is a Pinot Blanc. So we'll see. A little bit different than what you normally drink.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's good.
Yeah. So
Ooh, it's very yellow.
yeah, immediately very golden. I don't know if you guys can see that,
Good. I
but
smell it. It's gonna. Is it similar to Chardonnay?
no. What are you picking up? What's this wine putting down that you're picking up?
Not really butter, but
No, but you're close. There's something going on there. What is that?
some type of like fat.
A fat? No. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of all like up to you and what you're feeling. But
No, I mean seriously, that smells like some type of grease.
Okay. Yeah. No, there's a little like maybe petrol on there for sure, like a little gasoline action. I think you immediately get this like honeycomb. Yeah, and a little pineapple.
Pineapple.
Yeah, which coming from like a cold region of France and Germany, it's a little interesting. But yeah, immediately on it smells amazing. I mean, it's like complex.
Yeah, definitely.
Got this honeycomb pineapple action.
Josh is studying to be a sommelier. So that's where all this comes from. One day, right? Cheers. I think we're supposed to do that every time.
Cheers. So yeah, super interesting. Kind of a medium body, which for a Pinot Blanc, you would think kind of Pinot Grigio, kind of lighter. This one's a little bit more medium body, but I'm definitely getting that honeycomb, melon.
Man, honey. This is a honey wine.
That's a honey wine.
It's like, hey, honey. This is honey all over.
I'm getting melon for days on that. A little cantaloupe action, especially on the back end.
Yes.
And also
Very ripe fruit.
Yeah. And also get a little like peach.
Peach.
But maybe I was thinking a not so ripe peach, kind of just hitting you there, not overly sweet, but you're not a fan.
I like it. So good. It's very interesting. It's okay. It's
Sein Humblick.
It's expanding my palate.
Pinot Blanc from Alsace. Anyway,
It's fun.
how was your week?
Good
Yeah.
way to start the show. And Wednesday, I always look forward to this time with you.
You do. Awesome.
Do you?
I 100% look forward to this time with you. It's definitely the
just like
highlight
our
of my
little-
week. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Sweet.
easy. Like nothing else even. It's like remotely close.
That's nice.
But how was your week? Give me some highlights from last week.
My week was good. Yeah. I actually did something really fun. I have to give a shout out to Orangetheory Fitness. Super well known. Kind of like HIT fitness facility, gym. I don't really like the term gym anymore. I feel like that term is very outdated. When you talk about, like, I don't know, I guess you could say a CrossFit gym and you're at least like defining what kind of gym it is, but gym feels like almost like, hey, did you go to the mall? What?
Yeah.
Who goes to the mall anymore? So I don't know.
Right.
But anyways, I feel like Orangetheory it definitely has impacted my life, but they really are on the front lines of creating really awesome, not just workouts, but helping people create really healthy habits. And so they have really pivoted during this time, and obviously they've been closed this entire time. We've been in shelter in place, and they have been doing all of these virtual online workouts. And they created this like a virtual like 5K, or you could do a 5K or 10K. I was a little bit of a wimp, and I did a 5K, which isn't that far at all.
That's still great.
But
yeah.
Anyways, I signed up, and I don't know what it is. I could get out and just do a 5K on my own, but there's something about the sense of community that I think we're all missing so much. And so the fact that I actually, they tied it to, you were able to give a donation to the Mid-Ohio Food Bank.
Okay.
And then you sign up for the run, and then they're going to send you swag, once you post your race results.
Okay.
So I just thought the whole thing was like really cool.
So there was something about this community run, even though you were running by yourself.
Yes, because I knew other friends that were doing it. And
so in your mind, you're like envisioning other people running with you.
Well, I knew that other people were participating, like in my circle, and in New Albany, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to be posting their times, and just I knew that it wasn't just me out there running on the trail by the park for the 1,000th time by myself.
Yeah, gotcha. Makes sense.
And I got up early on Saturday.
Yeah, you did.
Because I had a little bit of a busy day, and I just knew I had to get it done. So
you were out and back before I even got up.
And you walked down, and I was all sweaty. You were like, "What? Like, where have you been?"
I know.
And I was like, "I did my 5K."
Yeah, good for you. Props.
So that was really fun.
Yeah, awesome. Had a busy week last week for sure. A lot of that was because we had our first official comeback conference last week on Thursday and Friday, just all day.
That went so well.
Yeah, I think so. Hosted it with a good friend of ours, Elijah Desmond from Smiles at Sea, Driven Dental Implant Marketing. The whole vision was we reached out to all the major dental marketing companies and said, hey, what if we did this? Got together, gave the dental profession everything we've got, like best ideas, best tips, best strategies, best tools to relaunch out of this COVID shutdown. So that's what it was.
It was really cool because it was marketing specific.
Yeah.
Dental marketing agency specific, which I don't know that I've seen any other conference, you could correct me if I'm wrong, out there that's been marketing specific in the dental industry. So typically they are a collaboration of a lot of different speakers from different backgrounds and bringing different things to the table. So It was definitely cool.
Yeah, it was fun for sure. And then we definitely upped the production value of it too. And I got to close the whole thing out, closing keynote, and just set up like a multi-camera setup with my presentation, live switching right there with Joe, who I work with, and Jay Moore. We're in the studio, and just because everybody's like, the cool thing about continuing education right now is everybody can sit down with their computer and a webcam like this, right? And that's fine. And everybody's like, whatever, weird camera angles and all that stuff just in rooms. But I was like, you also can actually create a set and a little bit of a stage and present. And like, what would that feel like? So that was kind of fun to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we were all like fingers crossed
that it was going to work.
Yeah, Joe, he's so great because he'll just jump into stuff with me. And he's like, yeah, I think we can do this. And he calls a friend to get the piece of equipment. He like flies his plane, his buddies and him fly up in their plane to go get it and come back. And he's, ordering cables that literally show up that day, and we're connecting, and he's like, I think we're good. I'm like, all right.
Joe Homan, we don't know anyone like you.
Yeah.
You're really awesome.
It's major. Ariel says Joe's production skills coming in clutch for sure. So yeah. But that was definitely one of the highlights of the week for sure. I was glad to get through it, man. I mean, it was like 6 p.m. Friday when we wrapped up, and I was like,
great.
I need a pizza and a nap.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What else? What about you from last week?
The other thing I'll mention is, so I know since quarantine, has anyone else, I know you all have been, probably answers yes, but have you guys been spending more time outside, engaging with wildlife or bugs or in your garden, right? Like if you guys have been outside more, comment and tell me, so I don't feel like I'm all alone in this. But I had quite a week with bugs and some wildlife. I tried to get into the office Friday, the second day of the comeback conference. And I just wanted to show you guys a little clip because, well, there was I met a little friend as I tried to get in.
What is that?
It's a little frog. I don't want you to think I feel a little nervous about showing this because I think people are going to think I'm the biggest wuss on the face of the earth. It's a cute little frog. I actually like frogs. It just startled me because I thought it was so camouflaged.
Yeah.
It looked like it blended in very well to the door and he wouldn't move. So I'm holding the stick, trying to move him, and he was just like I don't know.
Wait, do that again now that we're back to the live.
He was just like spreading his legs, and he was orange underneath. He was a really cool frog.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Protecting the entrance.
He wouldn't let me in.
Yeah.
And you were like live.
Yeah, I was on the conference.
For this conference. So
right.
you actually, I don't think he would have come to rescue me.
No, I got a text. It was like, hey, there's a frog on the door. Can you come, let me in? And I'm just like, yeah, not sure that warrants.
Are there any other wives, women, partners that would send a text like that? I mean, is chivalry dead?
I mean, it's a little frog.
It was a cute frog. But I didn't want to hurt him. He was in my way. And I also thought he could jump on me backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. The other, let's see.
There was a second incident.
At the office. What is happening?
Yeah, it was
Have you guys heard
day.
about these murder hornets? Oh, man. So things are going on with murder hornets. And so we think that one got into the office.
It's definitely not a murder hornet, but it was fun, pretending.
They've invaded Ohio.
Yeah.
So one got into the office. I alerted Joe immediately, of course.
Killed a murder hornet.
Not really you. I don't think you were taking it seriously.
No, I took it seriously.
Yeah, you watched Joe assertively go after it.
Joe's got switching skills, and he also
He's not
has.
messing around.
This is my favorite. He's totally missing it.
It's up really high. He has read about the murder hornets, and we were just talking about he's read to his kids about it, and so have we at dinner. Do you remember this?
You guys just killed a murder hornet.
Crisis avoided. Joe, he reminded me, he was like, Josh didn't do anything to that stupid murder hornet.
Later on, behind the scenes, Josh didn't do anything.
Josh stood there and watched it. Joe, thank you for saving us and for killing that stupid hornet. Anyways, that was my wildlife thing. And then to top it off,
I'm impressed
really
you got
quickly,
videos of both of those.
Thank you. I'm all about the media.
You're scared out of your mind, but you'll pull your phone out and capture it.
Because I always think that wildlife, especially anything with birds chasing people, you know this.
Yeah.
If you know me and you're a close friend of mine, anything with wildlife on America's Funniest Home Videos or YouTube videos where something is chasing a human, flying especially, I mean, I lose it. You could send those to me all day and we would be new best friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So
is that it? I mean, I could keep going. There was ants and infested our trees out front. And listen, if you guys know what to do about
There's
an
ants
infestation,
in the mulch.
Yes, but I mean, it was like a horror movie. Tons of them. 7 out of our 10 trees.
Yeah, that'd be a fun horror movie to produce.
So I don't know. Anyways, we need help. If you guys know anything about that or what I should put down. I'm not a huge fan of toxins, but
yeah. Last thing,
what about you?
Highlight from my week. I've been part of this group. It's called Full Cycle Entrepreneurs, and it's kind of a closed group. I think it's about 16 to 18 people in it, hosted by Alistair McDonald, who I respect a ton.
He's very cool.
Yeah, cool dude in the dental profession, but just has a huge background in investing and business development. And so,
is he from?
Gonna guess. South
New
Africa.
Zealand.
South Africa.
We should play this game on a regular basis.
Oh man,
It has to
I think you just asked me this yesterday.
We have to answer at the same time.
Okay.
It can't be.
Okay. So anyway, but this whole group is, so the whole concept of full cycle entrepreneur or business owner is you've got this bull market, which we've had this longest bull market in U.S. history for 10, 12 years. And that's like one cycle of business, but then there's a bear market as well, or like a contraction. And it's not that, I think everybody looks at it like, oh, you can run a business in a bull market and grow a business, but what do you do in a bear market? And his thing or his theory is you can run a business in both a bull and a bear market and you can grow. So like, how do you do that? So teaching business owners how to become full cycle, not just when times are good, how to grow a business, which I think is huge, because we're not technically in a recession yet, because you need 2 quarters of contraction to officially be in a recession. But man, everything's like, there's like COVID, and then there's going to be after effects of that and what it does to the economy. And I think we're going to be in a period that's going to be tough for a while. So, I mean, just what's happening with the automotive industry and cars piling up at ports of entry because dealerships can't take them. Airplanes parked everywhere. I mean, photography of airports just like taxi, like just airplanes, just like parking lots. It's crazy. And I don't know that industry is going to recover. And so just those 2 on its own, I think is going to have a big effect, and it's going to make things tough for a bit. So
he's a huge forecaster.
Yeah. So I think it's an interesting concept, because I think growing a business in a bull market is easier for sure. And if you have started a business after 2008, I did, we've never been through a recession or a contraction. And so I'm doing my best to kind of get out in front of that and figure it out, and even help some others through it as well. So
I'm really glad you're in that. I think that it's speaking into you. It's challenging you. You know? To grow. I mean, even like increasing your business acumen during this time, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's fun. So Liz Nyes is on. Jim Beezer is watching. Ariel says, my husband would be in trouble if he didn't come get the frog. Yeah, that's cool. Shaquila is watching. What's up, Shaquila? Guys, drop us any questions in the comments as we go. We'd love to hear from you as well. Just even how your week is going, all that. Anything you want us to hit on tonight, we will do that. Well, what have you been watching? What's been taking up your time here? Watching what to read, what to watch, what to listen to. Give us some... drop some resources.
I feel like all my stuff is just kind of lighthearted and fun tonight, and you're getting a little more, business owner serious side. Ooh, personal growth development.
I didn't know that was off limits.
It's not. I'm just gonna add the pop culture references every now and then, and just keep everything lively. Apparently,
let's do it.
Well, do you guys like Saturday Night Live? I mean, come on. So they're the I think the greatest thing in the world. More? I'm fine. I think I'm fine.
Let me get you something else.
No, I don't know. I'm fine. Anyways, okay. So have you guys been watching? We've been watching these Saturday Night Live at home episodes. They are fantastic. And just to watch that entire, show, and all of their episodes just pivot, to match the climate of what's happening with social distancing and stay-at-home orders. So one of my favorite sketches now of all time is, and I think Josh threw up a shot of it, but it's
going up right now.
Congregants that attend a virtual church service at Mount Methuselah, which is the best name for a Baptist church ever. Okay. So the entire congregation keeps saying amen. And as you saw the photo, like there's so many people on there. I mean, could you imagine your entire congregation, like hundreds of people joining in Zoom? So Kenan Thompson, who is fan-freaking-tastic on Saturday Night Live, is the kind of key actor in the whole thing. Anyways, he's like the pastor, and he is getting so angry because no one is listening to him to mute themselves on Zoom, and everybody keeps saying amen, amen, everything he says. It's so dramatic and funny. And then finally everyone does mute themselves, and then he actually tells his worship leader, he's like, mute yourself, I can't, he's the worship guy is the choir director or whatever, is trying to get the choir ready. And so the choir director mutes them. He mutes himself, and then he can't hear the music. So then Kenan, the pastor, is freaking out. The whole thing basically goes silent.
Yeah.
It's worth watching if
Yeah.
you want to laugh. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the SNL stay-at-homes they're funny and they're interesting. There's
very weird, some of them.
yeah, which you would
Disclaimer.
expect.
I mean,
Right,
some
like
we are
people
like
in their house for weeks on end come up
Yeah.
with some weird junk for sure.
weird.
Yeah, weird
writing.
junk.
Don't.
So some of it is weird, and then there's some of it where it's so true.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, definitely.
So this was one of them. So, which I think like virtual church right now is a really interesting concept. I mean, we've definitely done that a few times, but if we're being completely honest, it's lacked a little motivation to stay in it.
Yeah, no one will be named. I think it's
No one will be named.
we've just been doing our own little version of church at home.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I usually lead it, and it's sweet with our kids. I don't know. It's not like a service. We just have these, anyways, I won't get into it.
Yeah, no, I just meant like we're not attending as regularly as normal. You're welcome to get into all that if you want. It's not in the notes, but we can go that way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've created our own virtual church.
We really haven't. I mean, I feel like this is going the wrong.
I feel like I just crossed a line or something.
No, I was just trying to comment
we just
on
read some scripture and
on
we just talk a little.
attendance
Like,
habits
it's not,
within church during a
Well, I
virtual
know.
environment. Like I was actually going to ask
It's-
everybody, like
Yeah.
out of a 4-week period,
Right.
how many times have you attended virtual
And
church?
do you like it? I think that's the question. Are you engaged with it?
Yeah, clearly you have opinions about this. Yeah, but no, I think it's like in a month
concerned
period.
about-
How many times have you attended virtual church? Like, is it one? Is it all four? Is it But my suspicion is attendance has dropped for sure. But I also know churches are airing it more, so there's probably more options. Maybe you catch it
Yeah.
later in the day on Sunday or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I applaud churches for doing it. It's so much work. I used to work for one, and the production value behind it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What they have to do to pull it off. So it's awesome. It's needed right now. You're spreading hope, and so I think it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't know that everyone will connect with a virtual service when you've just grown up your whole life. Butts and seats.
And maybe that's part of it is because you've come from that, right? It's been a whole life of being that live in-person service, but like thinking about like how our kids grow up and interact with church.
Yeah.
So maybe we should be prioritizing it more
Shoot. Because they are the digital generation.
because it's normal to them.
We just had a real moment with all of you with us.
Feeling conviction.
No, it's just getting clarity.
All right.
What are you reading? Let's move on.
All right, no, I'm kind of in this funky in-between phase. Like what I'm watching, I've been watching The Last Dance a bunch, and it just wrapped up this week on Sunday, all 10 episodes. Arguably the best piece of content during COVID, for sure, 100%. So I'm not really watching. I haven't gotten into anything else yet. Just wrapped up another book, so I'm kind of in between. So I thought I'd get your guys' vote here. 3 books I'm thinking about. Number 1, Economics in 2 Lessons. Why Markets Work So Well and Why They Can Fail So Badly by John Quiggin. Obviously, just with the group I'm in, this seemed like appropriate to just kind of stay on that topic. So that was book number 1. I've got this whole, I don't know how you guys handle books. I've got this whole stack of like what to read next type books. And when I see stuff online, when people recommend books, usually I buy it. It goes into my read next stack. And then when I get done with a book, I look at the stack and I pull out a couple and I go, okay, what do I want to read next?
Do you read one at a time or multiples?
Usually multiples, but I'm in between like a bunch right now.
Oh, I'm so overwhelmed with books right now. I have 50 in my house.
So 1 is Economics in 2 Lessons. 2nd is Arts Principles. 50 years of hard-learned lessons in building a world-class professional firm, which I think is super cool by Arthur Ginsler.
That looks really good.
Yeah, and it's got some fun illustrations in it, which always makes it more approachable. So anyway, because that's what we have as a world-class professional services firm. So I think that would be awesome. And then last, The Power of Moments, Chip and Dan Heath. These guys
Cool cover.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. They write awesome books. Why certain experiences have extraordinary impact. So it's about creating experiences that have impact, which I love that and love doing that. So
Look who's watching. So I have to give my girl, Sarah,
Sarah's on.
a shout out because I think she by far reads more books than you. I've never, Sarah, you and Josh could have a competition. Yeah. Her and I and another friend
Summer
we talk
book
weekly.
reading competition.
Oh man.
It's on.
I mean, we get stressed out, not stressed. We're inspired by you, Sarah. But I'm also like, I can't possibly catch her.
Oh, I didn't even know that she read.
Oh my, she's an
Well, I don't know.
insane reader.
Oh.
Like, and she reads all the great books.
Yeah, all the great books.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, that one. I just, so.
Yeah. Justin Ross is on here too. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. The power moments, arts principles, economics into lessons. If you have a vote, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Sarah says, oh yeah, it's on. Let's do it.
She has a next to read book stack too.
We're trash talking about reading right now.
So let's move on to current situation.
All right.
What's going on in Ohio?
Give me what's up.
Governor Mike DeWine, our cute little governor. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know. Is he cute? He's quirky.
Our quirky little governor? I feel like
Do you find that cute?
I just think he's like a cute little grandpa.
Okay. I mean, because he's got those like round glasses and yeah.
My goodness. Do you all understand what I mean when I say cute? It's not handsome or attractive. Not that I'm trying to be
That's cool. It's something
mean.
that I've heard our governor refer
He has
to as
lifted
cute.
the Ohio stay-at-home orders and instead is issuing some strong recommendations to prevent the spread. And yeah, it's kind of been replaced with the language of urgent health advisory. Lots of businesses are opening back up. Let's see, restaurants starting tomorrow can do indoor dining.
50% capacity.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Obviously with like social distancing coming into play there.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do we have going on tomorrow night?
I sort of was going to surprise you, but then I wanted to make sure you were cool with it. But we have a date night.
Yeah.
Our first
restaurant
time we've left our children or
since
anything.
March. Gosh, what was that? It was Saturday night in New Orleans.
Oh man, if that can even count. I mean, that was fun, but we were working.
March 14th. Yeah, but that was the last time you and I sat down to dinner. So
totally.
Over 2 weeks.
We've had some stay-at-home date nights, but children are always around or up.
Yeah.
So this will be fun. I'm excited. And so spas, salons, everything is back open. I had the greatest privilege of seeing my hairstylist today.
Which
Ashley,
looks fantastic, by the way.
I heart you. You just basically, I feel like, made me look 10 years younger.
You got, this week, hair done, saw your dentist,
I did.
nails done.
I did.
I mean, it's like a whole new woman sitting here.
Pretty much. Yeah. You know what? I am the same woman inside, but I am also not one of those judgy women, and I can't stand the ones that are like, you don't need to have any of that done to be awesome. And I'm like, well, just you do you, and I will do me, right? So to each, to each her own. Why is that to each his own? No, to each her own. So one thing I wanted to say though is I have huge compassion for all of these salons, the spas, the restaurants, the dental offices that are opening back up, because they are definitely experiencing this lag in production because of all of this extra, disinfecting they have to do between every patient or client, all the social distancing. They cannot produce in the way that they used to and fit people in. And I know that's affecting their personal, profit, their company's profit. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you. We love you so much. I mean, I'm so grateful for you. This is not even a joke. And I have huge compassion for just some of what some of those changes are doing and how they're playing out.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's tough. Businesses that had fixed overhead based on a certain efficiency and capacity, now at like half of that, it doesn't even like meet the overhead requirement.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to just kind of see how long this plays out. But the good news is we're reopening. The great news is optimism is high. Dental practices across the country have had those that have reopened have had a fantastic couple weeks, even despite everything. This kind of apprehension that the media has portrayed about people going back to the dentist just hasn't been there. Everybody's kind of been like, yeah, no, we're ready to get back out. So super hopeful.
Interesting. I mean, let's see. I would say that my experience as a dental patient was not any different really than before. Like they were just the practice was very infectious disease control proactive beforehand.
Okay.
So they had so many of these things already implemented and they just basically added more.
Yeah.
But it was just a very courteous, peaceful environment. I never felt stressed or like I was inconveniencing anyone. I would say that I think the places that are going to struggle probably experience-wise will be your salons and spas. Because when you're I'm struggling wearing that mask and breathing for hours. Like it's really challenging. So I also don't know. My heart goes out to everyone right now who is out working and wears a mask 12 hours a day. It is a lot. It messes with your oxygen levels. I don't feel well after I wear it for a few hours. So
yeah, Derek Perez is on watching. Hey man, what's up? Derek and his wife have a startup practice opening soon, and we're actually talking next week. So I'm looking forward to that. Angie Bachman's watching. Scott Mayshaw. I think what's interesting. I had a conversation last week with actually was in this group, a dentist, and she said, she basically worked all day with a mask on, had been doing that, a couple days in a row, felt very fatigued, very tired at night. It was kind of like, what is up? Like abnormal fatigue and being tired. And so she had a pulse ox, took her pulse ox at the end of the day, and it was like 91%. Now, normal pulse ox is 98, 99. So definitely lower oxygen levels. Took her mask off, went outside, spent about 20 minutes breathing, just like getting oxygen back in her, came back into the pulse ox, and it was at like 96. So starting to recover. But I think that's a very real issue that we're going to deal with. And if you're a professional out there that has to wear a mask for an entire day, like just know will most likely deal with fatigue, like higher levels of fatigue, being tired, it's going to be tough. It's not you, it's the mask. It's a depletion, a deprivation of oxygen.
Right. That could be something interesting that we talk about or do some research on for next week or next couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. But overall, I mean, your dental experience was like solid. I mean, you enjoyed it and...
Oh yeah. I was excited to get out of the house. And I mean, come on, dentists are the most freaking awesome people on the face of the earth. And you walk away and your teeth are like white. You go to a true, solid, awesome, rock star dentist, you need to go.
I do.
Gosh.
Yeah. That's another story. There may be another story coming down the road here.
Anyways, you leave and you feel better. Just about everything. Your smile is everything, right?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
Well, last week we talked with you all about inspiring vision, what it is, how that looks in your business. And really this conversation was... I'll use the word inspired, but it started I listened to a podcast with Donald Miller, whom probably most of you have heard of or are aware of. He is the kind of founder of Story Brand. He had Michael Hyatt on as a guest, and they just talked about what inspiring vision is, what it is not, how it affects your business and leadership, and also your family and what it means to you personally. So we had so much good material last week that we only got through the first part of it, kind of introducing the concept, and then we talked about how it plays out in your business. And today we get to kind of move on and talk about how vision works in your family and also personally.
Yeah, for sure. So we had a good talk last week about vision in the business. Wanted to actually bring that into the family. What does vision look like? How do you lead a family with vision? So I think that's a great conversation.
And I want to say one thing though, don't tune this conversation out. I would say sometimes vision can seem very, audacious or big and just a little bit like ambiguous, like scary or old fashioned or something. I don't know. I think that vision, the term or word, can receive a bad rap. It's the why really behind what you're doing, which is everything, isn't it? It's kind of the heartbeat behind the strategy and everything. So I think it's so important. And I will just do a quick refresh. Inspiring vision focuses on what isn't, not on what is. It focuses on the exponential, not the incremental.
Yep.
Focuses on being risky, but not delusional or stupid.
Yep.
Don't be stupid with your vision. Inspiring vision focuses on the what, not the how, like I said. So the strategy really is supposed to follow the clear vision when it's laid out well.
Yeah, and we talked last week about how like deciding on like just getting the how out of the way. The how for me can be a stumbling block sometimes because it's like there's the what, but I have to be able to process, okay, but how does that happen? And if I can't figure that out, a lot of times it can stop me. But that vision isn't about the how, it's about the what, and then we can figure out the how later, if that makes sense.
Completely.
So, all right, so give me like why. Okay, so obviously everybody knows vision is important in business for sure. I mean, we've got, and part of the reason why it's got a bad rep is because we have the vision statements, the mission statements, all that. You know, every business consultant in the world is going to walk in and go, let's work on your mission statement. Let's work on your vision statement. And so some of that's been played out. To be honest, like we don't even, at Studio 88, we don't have a mission statement. We don't have a vision statement. We're very clear about who we are and our values and some of those other things, the why and all that. But I think I've been a little just burnt, like played out on that stuff. But call it what you want, but it can be different.
I think this is a great conversation even for you to kind of think through.
Yeah.
Because the way that it can motivate a team and align a team is everything.
Yeah.
And if it's something that a team can verbalize in one or two statements, can be effective beyond your wildest dreams. So why is vision important for your family? I'll kind of just dive into this, but families, like companies, perform better when the goals are clearly defined. Creating these goals together encourages a sense of pride, if you think about it, and personal commitment, and helps everyone stay focused. So I think if you looked at your family in the same way that you would your team, your business team, right? You're in a practice, almost like you're leading them. Well, what inspires your team?
Yeah.
Right? It's goals, it's objectives, it's the future. And so it's the why. So why on earth do we lead our families without all of this inspiring vision? What are we doing?
Yeah. No, that's a really great concept. And it may, I don't know, it could even be tweaking some people out. Like the fact of like your family is a business kind of concept.
Or your family is a team.
Yeah, no, but I'm actually like,
do you like that?
Embracing it. Like, I think is it a business? No. Is it a team? No. But are there principles that you can bring over from running a business or leading a team? 100%. And you and I have always been like that. I mean, it's like there's the Scott family business that's like takes place and managing 4 different schedules and budgets and, work and cleaning the house and all the things that need to happen. I mean, before this, it was like kids were downstairs cleaning, right? We're not slave drivers at all.
No, I already had spent an hour cleaning myself, but I was like, hey, you go into the basement, into your little cave down there and clean it up, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's their cave. They got to clean it up. But that's like part of business, right? Like this is your domain. Take responsibility for it. Clean it. So no, I actually love that. Like bringing some of those principles in to go, because you and I mean, that's a value of ours. It's like, there's part of this where it's like, if it's a business, man, this has to run. The family,
Yes, completely. So really these mission statements, when you think about them for your family, they can be short-term, they can be long-term, and they can really unify your tribe around a common goal or a single purpose.
Yeah.
One way to create vision in your family is to create an achievable goal with a deadline in the form of a mission statement, right? We will accomplish X by X. And for an example, the Scott family will build a community garden by the end of the summer so that all of our neighbors can get to know each other.
Is that like hypothetical or is that like
That's
real?
Hypothetical.
Oh, okay. Because
Should we do that?
I don't know that the HOA would actually allow that. but
yeah, you understand though.
Good idea.
Right. So that would be an example of a short-term goal that you could kind of brainstorm with your family. And what is the alternative? I don't know. Like, why on earth wouldn't we spend some time with our family and kids working on what inspiring vision looks like to us? The alternative is they sit on their butts on their cell phones or devices all through summer.
Right.
Or they chip in and help build the community garden with the end goal of bringing the neighborhood together.
Yeah, and just like another example, we've got the marathon challenge going on, and it was like, you will complete a marathon in,
Oh, and they already completed it. Now I'm telling them they have to get in by May 31st, 40 miles.
40 miles by May 31st. So
all this rain has kind of messed with that a little bit. We're going to get caught up.
Yeah. Or we're going to complete the Marvel movie challenge.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, it can be something like...
Yeah, totally.
Really fun-oriented. So I wanted to show you guys something. I kind of have a...
Yeah, this was our dinner conversation the other night.
Well, Monday night, I kind of pulled out this trifold board, and we had a summer vision.
Summer vision.
And he did that the whole time.
I don't know. I feel like when we say that, like there's this soundtrack that plays like summer vision.
You sound like, who was that guy on New Albany Parks and Rec that he drives me crazy.
Tom Haverford?
No, not Tom Haverford. His friend.
Oh, his friend.
That's
totally.
Exactly
Summer
what you
vision.
sound like. Oh my gosh.
She loves it.
No, I don't like. I love New Albany Parks and Rec. I don't.
It's not New Albany Parks and Rec. It's just Parks and Rec.
Oh.
New Albany's our city.
That
wasn't filmed here.
All right. Okay. So
show your vision board.
I just had the kids sit down and we started working on. We actually started with kind of the fun concepts. What are some fun things you would like to achieve in June, July, and August? I did name it Summer Vision, and I'm going to kind of clean this up more.
Summer Vision.
And they had endless ideas, right? I mean, kids are idea generators. They have a million ideas. They're so curious. I get so frustrated when adults limit them and answer all of their questions for them. With kids, you answer a question with a question whenever you can and let them explore what the answer is.
Yeah, it's John Ralphio.
That's it.
Yeah, Michael Arias came through here. Summer vision.
Thanks, Michael Arias.
Yeah, no, I love the vision board though, the summer vision board, and the kids had a blast with it. And we've actually done this in the past. We create like this big summer to-do list.
Yes.
And we kind of cross it off. This has been another kind of just variation of that, of like, what do we want to get accomplished, and what do you want to do this summer?
Well, yes, and like you said, this is not a new practice. We do this every summer. However, I wanted to move from the fun stuff that we want to do this summer to like, what kind of positive change can we create in the world? So we kind of took the conversation further, and we started coming up with, okay, so we're going to research one kindness project idea, And they were like, huh. And I was like, well, what do you think that might be? And I talked to them about like a clean water project, or maybe, donating to your local food pantry. And Aaliyah mentioned we could go around and clean up trash at parks. I mean, so kids will come up with ideas, and that could be a short-term goal that you do over the summer. What you really, if you want inspiring vision on steroids, honestly, come up with a theme like for your family. Like an overall theme, really.
A theme for the summer, or a theme for your family?
Like a long-term vision statement, like our family's vision is to inspire joy wherever we go. And it actually doesn't have an end date. So I think we're starting with, okay, what's our fun stuff for the summer, but also what's the kindness project? How are we going to create some awesome small change in the world? And then what is our what's the overview of who we are as a family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where values come into play too. Now look, some of this, if your kids are younger, some of this is harder. I mean,
oh, definitely.
Some of this has just been the past 4 or 5 years with us, as you get older kids that start to understand this, can participate in it as well. And honestly, the older they get, the funner it is, because you can engage them in mission-driven projects, business-driven projects, like all that. So.
Yeah. So you guys, if you want, comment and tell me if you had to create a mission statement around a goal to achieve this summer, what would it be? I would love to know.
Summer vision.
I'm going to start calling you John Ralphio.
I don't know that I hate that. Shane Simmons is on. What's up, Shane? Kevin Barnett, Joanna Fritz Anderson. Hi, guys. Good to see you. And then the one and only Michael Arias bailing me out with the John Ralphio. So thanks, bro.
So I think the next question is, if you're asking yourself, how can I inspire my team and family with vision if I don't have any? Like if it's not coming, like if you personally don't have any.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked yourself that or
No,
felt that way?
I was just thinking that the title of this episode is going to be Summer Vision.
Oh my gosh.
No, but continue.
Are you going to sing the title?
We name these episodes when we're done based on like one of the primary themes of the show. Like it's not decided beforehand. We wait till we're done, and then
we do.
Actually, it's you and Jay Moore, Josh Moore that kind of work on it, create the description of it and the title. And
it takes a village.
And I'm feeling it. It's going to be
sing.
episode 9, Summer Vision.
Right.
Which you're loving.
Are you ready?
I actually want to say it more.
I don't think anyone thinks this is funny right now.
Yeah, nobody's commenting. But you know what?
I think they're just like,
I'm
this
making
is
myself
awkward.
laugh.
That's cute. I usually do that.
Yeah. All right, so
Good.
I'll let you go. Okay,
Good.
Invest in your personal vision tank.
Ooh, there you go. Well, the next kind of part of this is, how can we inspire our family and business if we are not personally inspired or don't have our own unique vision or mission statement for our life, right? And I wanted to give you I think that's a really great question to stop and go, where does all of this vision begin? And it begins with us. It begins with you, myself, right? We have to personally invest in ourselves for this to really trickle down to anyone else. And I think, I jotted down just a couple brief ideas, and they're really simple things. First, like invest in your personal vision tank. I think you said tank earlier, but set aside time to place like deposits of vision in your heart and mind. If you're running on empty, and we all know what that feels like, you got to fill it up.
Yeah, for sure.
And
No, it's a huge deal. I mean, like the times where I feel like I'm just like, there's nothing left. It's usually because I haven't spent the time like putting into myself. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's huge.
Have you felt like you've been lacking vision at all, or these like low points during quarantine?
Oh yeah, for sure. So much is changing. It's actually hard to like. I think it's been part of it is there's so much change in so many different areas that it's been hard to kind of see that clearly for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Right. Everything's changing so quickly.
Yeah, it's almost like you develop vision over this long term. Like it's not something that probably comes to you with like flashing lights in this like moment with smoke
completely.
and this is your vision. It's like something organic that gets developed over time and over a long term, right? And you tweak it and you're like, I want that, I see that. And what COVID has done is it's almost like gone, okay, we're going to flip everything upside down in 8 weeks, get a handle on it. And it's like, that's not even a normal, healthy way for vision to be developed. And so I think like everybody's trying to get a handle on it, and some of it's wrong and some of it's right and some of it feels good. Some of it's like, that's not quite there, but
right.
I don't know.
I think that's a really great point. I think that especially I guess we're speaking more in terms of like vision, inspiring vision in your business, but it's going to have to pivot, and your vision probably will have to be modified and change and adapt.
Yeah, for sure.
With the climate, with all of the craziness that's unexpected that business owners are getting blindsided with.
Yeah, maybe that's some of the hang up too, because this conversation about vision is when we pay a consultant to come in and we spend all this time on here's our mission statement, here's our vision statement, it feels final. It feels like there's this finality to it. And I still don't think it's like that. I feel it's organic. It can grow as you see stuff and learn stuff. You're like, oh no, this is really more what I'm thinking. So
right. And there are definitely simple things that you can do to kind of build like vision deposits into your life. Things like morning rituals, journaling, meditation. We've talked about this before in past episodes. Blocking creative time. Like also you can join a webinar, mastermind, or some type of community that really feeds your soul. And you mentioned even like being in Alistair's
Yeah,
group.
that's
and
been inspiring for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and creating vision. Yeah, absolutely.
Because really what it is the vision for, you know, your personal consulting business and even Studio 88. It's pivoting to how to market and thrive as a business in a bear market.
Yeah,
So that vision has to
right.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you really, to understand it and effectively and like make the right decisions, you need to surround yourself with people that are kind of further ahead.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like really get it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously books, podcasts, articles. He reads books. I mean, I am a podcast like junkie.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it's finding your lane. One of the guys I did a go live with, Galen Dietrich with Thrive Dentist, talks about creativity and inspiration as a frequency that comes to you.
Yeah.
And he even got real like metaphysical with it, where it's like being in water can inspire you. Being on an airplane can inspire you because you're blocking out all these other frequencies. Like water works as like a dampening device. Being on an airplane is like high above every other frequency that interferes with you. But I think that's the same concept of like, what's your frequency? Like, is it books? Is it podcasts?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
being outside? Like, where are those moments where like those things speak to you, and then just like dial into those, like make sure you're building that in.
That's really good. I love that. I also would add to that and say relationships. And this could be outside of a mastermind. This can be people that you're actually sharing life with. I highly recommend this. And either they're further ahead of you or they're running fast, hard with you, but they're people that challenge and motivate you in some point. And I have two of those people that I have really felt like that have tracked with me. All three of us are friends. They shall remain nameless, but you know who you are. And we get on multiple times every week and we do video chats through Marco Polo. And I have been so inspired. It's like the bright spot in my week. We encourage one another. We challenge one another. We share like our ups and downs. And it's just a very motivating communication like throughout my week.
Yeah.
And I actually would step back and say that those relationships are inspiring vision in my life.
Yeah.
They're really challenging me to finish personal goals that I have or start new ones. And they're just tracking with me.
Yeah. Finding your people is huge for sure. And I think, you actually shared a podcast with me this week with Rachel Hollis, the Rise podcast, but she was on with, what's his name? McEwen Essentialism book.
Greg McCowan.
Yeah. But he was challenging her because she was talking about how like she's been so like this decision fatigue with her team and burnout and all this stuff. And he was like, what are the things you want to do every day? She like wants to get up and work out. She wants to go take a walk for lunch. She wants to end work by 4:00 to then be with her family. And he was like, build that into your schedule. And it was inspiring to me because it was just like, schedule's been, as much as the schedule got real consistent, it was like, you're not going anywhere. It's had so much variety in it on a day-to-day basis. There's just been very little structure. And I think for me, at the core of who I am, that's when there's no structure, it actually drains me.
Totally.
And just going from one thing to the next without any intentionality is very difficult for me.
Yeah.
And there's this sense, and I've shared this with you, this sense of like, when my schedule is not my own, it just sucks energy from me. And I'm like phone calls and lives and webinars and everybody's scheduling all my time and I had no say in it. And I just have to like go through it. And so that was a great conversation because it was like, none of that stuff gives me vision. Like it doesn't, it's work, it's fine. It has to go. And look, I love so much of it. I had some really great calls today that I love. But like what gives me vision is different things. It's time alone. It's time reading. It's time to process. It's having some freedom in my schedule to go like, what do I want to do right now?
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's awesome. I think that it's just to your point, depositing vision into your life personally is going to look different for everyone. It's going to play out differently. So get creative and step back. And I would encourage you to pause and think about how you can develop inspiring vision in your business, family, personally, really starting with you though. We kind of went backwards, right?
Yeah.
Order of priority, but
Yeah.
and the awesome thing is there are people like Donald Miller and Michael Hyatt. If you, they and in the show notes we have a link there, but they have some really great resources that if you buy his book, and I don't know him, he doesn't know me, so I'm like promoting his book, but his new book, you can get all of these extra tools and resources that will help you define vision and how to kind of move in that direction.
Yeah, for sure. This is a great time. Like everything's gotten, in a sense, kind of turned upside down. Like it's such a great time to restart, kind of wipe everything clean, and just go, okay, like what is our vision?
Right.
You know. So even
Right.
though that can be hard in a time like this, it's absolutely feels like the right thing to do. So yeah.
Completely. Well, and I know I'm always kind of sending you either an email or just prompting you with like a conversation about. We'll start down a road with something, and I'm like, wait, does that align with the vision? And I think that's always my go-to because it helps you very quickly identify whether that opportunity aligns with what you're meant to do.
Yeah. Which emails about vision are awesome.
Oh, this is what it's like to be married to me. You had to tell everyone that?
Oh,
It was such a fun email. It was
No,
like
it was,
3
yeah.
sentences.
Yeah.
And I also said no rush.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us Wednesday night, the Not So Late Show. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, obviously we go live on a Wednesday night. This gets posted to Facebook. We also, then this gets kicked out later in the week over to all your favorite podcasting platforms.
Audio.
Oh, man. Here we go.
That sounded like so.
Subscribe. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. We are up on all of those. So check out your favorite channel. Just search the Not So Late Show. You'll be able to find it. Because I know, look, lots of people watch it live. I mean, typically when we get done, we've got about 70, 80, 90 views, unique views on that show. A couple dozen comments in there. But by the time we get to next week's over 200 views. But then people are starting to download the podcast as well and listen to that when they have more time.
Which is really fun. So you can get ready in the morning and listen to a podcast.
Yeah. And it still comes across really well. You don't get the facial expressions. No. But you get the gist of it for sure.
Yeah. I probably don't need to see our faces.
Yeah. Anything else before we sign off?
Thanks for hanging with us with all the awkward singing tonight. And yeah.
Yeah. Tony Srirachi jumped on. Greg Miller was watching. Dr. Michael Frusian was on. We were talking about you tonight.
We just talked about my awesome patient experience in your practice.
Dial it back about
yesterday.
20, 25 minutes, and we'll be talking about that.
You guys rock, Dr. Frusian.
All right, guys. So good to see you. We'll be here next week. Join us for episode 10. See ya.